Hey y'all, I'm coming up on a motel I used to live in Delaware. And I'm doing a vlog from here today because I'm having a super transparent moment. We used to stay right over in there in 420, right? Maybe 412. At this corner, and I had two cars, a Pathfinder and a Chrysler. And I'm saying all that to say what I'm about to tell y'all real soon. I wanted to come because God gave me a revelation today in humility, keeping my grind up, never forgetting how strong I am. This is real life right now. Right? Hey guys, I'm pulled over. I just showed you a glimpse of a part of my past. So forgive me if you hear the emergency flashes because I'm parked somewhere I probably shouldn't be parked. So anyway, it's your girl, Miss Motivational Mogul Mindset, the Inspired Avis Cherie. I came on today to share with you the times that we have to press and do self-encouragement, right? Assess our situations, self-motivate, build self-esteem. It's about self. And I was in my prayer closet this morning, and I felt heavy. It's gloomy, a new week. You know, you're trying to re-strategize, restructure your organization, your business, your mindset, whatever, your lifestyle, whatever it is, child. And so I'm like, dang, God, I be on a grind. I know it's coming. I got faith. But how can I get even better? And see, I over-challenge myself. I set high benchmarks for myself. And I'm not used to the weight sometimes. Matter of fact, I am used to the weight, but it's uncomfortable sometimes when you've been in those weight stations a lot for most of your life. And so I wanted to come to talk to my warriors, my strong people, my strong towers, my people that we make it look good. We make it look effortless. We make it look transformation easy. I wanted to come to you guys because I'm with you in the line of where I know where you must have come from to get to where you have gotten. I showed y'all the motel because in 2002, I had found myself living in that hotel with my 4 kids. It wasn't as a teen mom in Delaware. It was as an adult who worked for the state, who worked in the service delivery field, who found herself displaced, who found herself in a situation where I could not return back to where I was living. And I had to take my 4 kids and live between the 2 spots until the wait was over, right? Until God said, I'm gonna put you #1 on the list. And he did just that. It was during that time, though, I didn't think that I was on anyone's list. It was during that time that I didn't think that I was even considered for the list. It was during that time that I felt just as abandoned as the children and the families that were living in this motel with me. That our kids were getting picked up from school on the school bus and dropped off in this motel in a desert place, in a dry place, on the run place. Thank God we didn't see any prostitution, but I'm sure there was that and some addictions and everything that goes on at these motels for families that the state provides for you, right? On a voucher, case by case, emergency basis, right? So I'm gonna take you on that journey really quickly. First of all, I had 2 cars, which the state considers assets. I had a Pathfinder and a Chrysler. The state considers that assets as if you can walk on the parking lot and say, here, exchange my car for cash because I'm in dire need, right? We know that's not realistic. That does not even happen. If you make overtime and you go to the state for any type of assistance, don't take that pay stub because they're going to decline your services and deem you ineligible for services because you're $1 over or 5 cents over. So we know that getting a voucher was very hard to accomplish. So I paid out of pocket for the motel for the majority of the time because, again, I was a state worker, right? I'm just getting back in a new position, coming back from St. Louis in 2002 and moving back to Delaware. So I had to live here. So what I did was took my children and I out of an unsafe and unstable environment, high intensity environment. I would put them to sleep when it was good at the apartment I was living in, and then I would bring them here during the days that I would think that something would become hostile, right? I'm saying that to be nice. So I'm just reminding those who are in that dry desert drought place that feels like you're in an abandoned motel, abandoned anywhere in your life, rejected in your life, falling on hard times, lost your job, because that's what happened. I lost my job, moved to St. Louis, came back, had to find a job. In the midst of me being rehired at the state, ended up at a hotel. But everything that I thought discounted me and discredited me from getting my feet and getting my momentum and getting my stride back again, it also qualified me in a specific wait season. It actually moved things around in my favor. Because had I been working at that moment where things started to erupt, I would have been ineligible for the voucher. But because I was in the middle of moving back and I was in the process of being rehired with the state, and that very short glimpse of darkness, there was a ray of light. Because I was in transition and God was moving me and pulling me out of my dry area, my dry place and my hazardous place, I was eligible for what he wanted me and needed me to receive. I was in alignment with some things because I was living in a motel. I was in alignment because I had lost some things along the way. And God was saying, you may have lost this, but I'm going to make you number one on the list. And he did just that. I didn't stay here for years, maybe 1 or 2 months. And I was number one on every list I hit after that. Number one on the job placement. Number one for my house that I got after that. All provisions was made for me. Somebody recommended me and was my reference for my house based off the work I did in the state, which qualified me because guess what? The person that gave me my house didn't even ask for my social security number after leaving this motel, fleeing from an abusive relationship. She said, oh, such and such know you at the state, and because of who you are and how you worked since you moved here from St. Louis back in '93, we're going to give you this house just on GP. Just on the strength you know this type of caliber of person. Just on the strength that this person can vouch for you. So I'm telling you that all to say, it was hard this morning. But God took me to a place where I was dry. And he said, you are strong. You have overcome so many things. It ain't about what you drive. I'm sitting here on this lot right now in a Jaguar. But it was never about what I had or what I did not have. Because I had 2 vehicles parked on this lot, but that didn't mean I wasn't homeless. That didn't mean I wasn't in a bad situation. That don't mean that you're not in an abusive situation based off how you make abuse look, how you make hungry look, how you make being fired look, how you make being displaced look. It doesn't mean that you're not in a dry place. It doesn't mean that you ain't in a drought. It doesn't mean that the people that's watching you don't need their help. People need to stop with that. You ain't gonna support somebody because of what they drive, how they look, what labels they pop. You need to stop that. You ain't gonna support them because I talk to them every day and they ain't never open their mouth and say they needed anything. You need to cut that. Because everybody next to me and beside me that's ever heard the sound of my voice knows I ain't never been living to make anything look like what I'm going through. But because you was privileged to be in my space, and I said was, because you was privileged to be in my space, you know exactly what I was going through. And nobody should have to open their mouth just to get a prayer or just for you to offer them support, just for you to check on them and lay eyes on them. Nobody should ever have to tell you to do that. And I'm talking from Avis Cherie circle. I'm talking from Avis Cherie standpoint. I'm talking for those who want to ask me, why should I be your life coach? Or why is she coaching? Because I coached you. Everything you got, how you position, how you pivot, how you transform, how you move, how your mindset shifted in the midst of adversity, abuse. Everybody attached to me. None of y'all should ever ask me that. Because I was in the muck. And none of y'all could anchor that and pull it out. But y'all came up and I brought y'all up and educated y'all on how not to stay places. How not to go back to places. How to be strong in the midst of adversity. How to be strong in the midst of fighting. How to be strong in the midst of losing it all and looking like it's losing it all but not giving up hope. Don't question what God has for me. Don't question what God has for somebody else, but especially don't question what God has for somebody that you've seen, in spite of all these things, was able to pull not only themselves up, but you up too. Put food on your plate. Provide shelter for your head. Don't sit at home because it's easy and nice to get up and go to work and you ain't got them problems. Because you one paycheck away from having them same problems as people living in a motel. I worked for the state and stayed in this hotel. That was a wait station that I had to have faith, strong faith. I had to teach my 13-year-old how to drive the second car to get away in the case that we needed to flee. I got a voice. Everybody on these streets, on these Instagram and social media streets, talking crazy. I can't afford to talk crazy because I don't do too much talking when it comes to that. Because my grind and my hustle and where I come from is my story, my lane. But don't ever diminish yourself and where you come from. And sometimes you need a tune-up and a check-up and a check-in. You need to go back to those places and be grateful. You need to go back to those places and remember where God brought you out of. My prayers were strong this morning and I started crying and weeping. I'm like, what's going on? Go back to where you came from and figure out and remember how strong you are. Remember whose you are. Remember your guards and your guides and your angels that's dispatched around every situation. Remember how you didn't fall. Remember how you didn't slumber. Yeah. Stop playing with me. I inspire based off my life, my deeds, my acts. Because in every situation of everything I've gone through, I had people with me that was going through worse or couldn't see their situation for the good that it was. And they came with me and I protected them and I covered them and I fed them in spite of what they seen going on with Avis. I never told them what they had to do. I never told them they got to suffer with me. If anything, I never told them what I was going through because I never wanted people to go through things unwarranted, unnecessary, and they may have been too incapable to handle it. Why am I saying all this? Why? You got to ask. Because people play with people too much. You assume too much. You take off too much. You off duty now. You good now. You bougie now. You big now. You give to the select few that's on you now that make you feel popping now. You too embarrassed to talk to this kind of person. First of all, I don't know why anybody would be embarrassed to have me around to speak on my behalf or your behalf because I'm very intelligent. I'm very well spoken. I'm very well diverse. But I got people that's even close to me that don't call me but on certain times and certain reasons to appease certain audiences. But today I'm coming to humble your spirit as well. Just because I don't say nothing don't mean I don't know. Quit playing with me. I am a healer. I am the inspirer. I am a transformational mindset coach. Period. I am more than a conqueror. I am an overcomer. Period. So for you today who feels like I can't press, go back to some places that you've been, that you had no power to get out of, that you had no control to get out of, that you didn't know the next day what it was going to look like for you. I was working and still living in a motel. Owned a Pathfinder and was paying payments on another car. Didn't matter. One I had to live in, one I had to escape in. When I say live, my kids in a safe place, but I'm spending the night in my Pathfinder. Just so I could sit outside, sleep outside of where they was living. So just in case I needed to boom, boom, got to do my 1-2. That's what my first book was about. The Price of Evolution. Sanctified Sacrifices and Healing. There was a price with my evolution. There's a price with your evolution. It ain't for free. You don't get up there and be like, I'm good. You don't talk down to people. Don't act like that. I digress. Remember who you are. Remember how strong you are. Check on your strong friends. It's more than just to put the quote up there. Check on your strong friends. What? The strong friend carried you on her back when she was going through the food line. Or he was going through the food line. Your strong friends carry you on their back when they out here taking risks with their lives to make sure their families and your families and the families and the community families is eating. Stop talking about it to people when it's only good, when it's only looking right, when it's in alignment, what to look for. If it don't look right 100% of the time, don't talk to them none of the time. That ain't their loss, that's your loss. Don't talk to them when it's good when you need to. That ain't their loss, that's your loss. You ain't doing them no favor. The only favor you could do them is get out their life. You won't act like you too good because you too busy. Get right? We all booked and busy. We all got multiple degrees. We all got multiple jobs. We all got multiple businesses. But you booked and busy? Okay. So I'm saying all of this to say, don't let nobody get in your life and get in your head when they think you at a drought. Stay to yourself. Or call your strong friends. First pray, go to God, that he will send you someone that's not going to take advantage of your situation, that's not going to throw it up in your face. Everybody talking about servant leaders, everybody talking about this, that, and third. Listen, okay? I'm done, because I know people sideways, man. People ain't who they say they are. And I came on the show today exactly who I say I am. God told me to come back to this motel and do a vlog about remember who you are, girl. Remember where I raised you up from. That's what I want to tell you today. Put it in order, restructure, reprioritize. Put your life back in order, piece by piece, pound by pound, step by step, thought by thought. And rest and be still. It's a season. Rest and be still and pass the test so you don't have to retest again. And if you fail the test, go get help in a higher caliber. Go do something new to pass that test. Don't think you finna go retest again with the same mindset. You're gonna fail again. Every hardship you go through is for you to take away nuggets so that you won't do it again. Why are you gonna retest with the same mindset? You're gonna fail. Go and seek help. Go and follow through. Nobody got to chase you for your healing. Nobody got to chase you for your help. Don't let nobody chase you. Show that you're hungry. Show that you desire to be helped. Show that you desire to change. And somebody will meet you at your need, sis. Somebody will meet you at your need, bro. I promise you. I'm solid in that. I ain't trying to sell nothing. I never had to sell. I hate sales. I hate sales. Because what I do is what I do from the muscle. What I do is from the heart. It's compassion. It's purpose. I hate sales. Ugh. Ugh. All right, man, I got to go. Well, they locked me up by the den. I heard about a motel. Think I'm trying to pick up one of these little kids, child. I ain't trying to pick up no more kids, child. I got enough kids of my own, child. I'm out. I just had to come do a pit stop, child. Let me get on up out of here, child. Woo, child. Woo, people have me tight. All right, until next time. I'm not yelling at y'all. I'm sorry. I'm just passionate. God's love and God's peace to you all. God's joy to you. Don't let nobody break your stride. Don't let nobody break your momentum, all right? Until next time. I'll talk to y'all soon.